Hello friends, Tosh here to talk to you all about the Jewel token in DeFi Kingdoms and whether I think it's gonna moon, crash, or float around a little bit. So if you're anything like me, when you saw those 20,000% APRs, some red flags went off in your head. And like my mom always told me, if something looks too good to be true, it probably is. So I went ahead and did a little bit of my own research, and mama's rule just didn't hold here for me. I turned into really a full out 8 for this project. Let me tell you some of the reasons why. And just a quick disclaimer to get us started is that I am not a financial advisor, and nothing in this video should be taken as financial advice. This is purely educational content, and I encourage you to do your own research and only risk what you can afford to lose. Alrighty, I think a good place to start this video off is to take a gander at our charts. So here is the Jewel chart as of today, September 6th. This is only a 1-week chart for now. If we were to look at the whole thing, Jewel token did start and launch around 15 to 20 cents, I believe, and it really has not gone down below 15 cents ever since it launched. I was lucky to get in at about 32 cents, and it's currently at 76 cents. So I'm already seeing some nice gains there with this project. Another thing I really want to highlight about this chart is that these dips do not last very long. So on this dip here, for example, we went from 39 to 36 cents pretty quickly, but that 36 cents did not stay there for long. We saw just in a couple hours the return back to 39 cents. Same thing happened here, went from 48 to 45, and then right back up to 48. Every single dip, we see the recovery happen so fast. It actually looks like a decent dip right now, so maybe we'll go and purchase some in a sec. I think this token is just going to steadily climb up until some of the big announcements start happening and some of the big events, ways to spend the Jewel, and ways to capitalize on them. So let's go ahead and look at what those are going to do. Now, a token's chart really isn't the only way to tell whether it's going to succeed or not. It's really about the team and the model. So I have the white paper up here for DeFi Kingdoms, and exploring this really was one of the things that made me really bullish on this project. So first of all, the model sets up things in a way that encourages people to hold on to their Jewel. So the first thing is, we've already talked about the bank and the gardens in my other video. If you haven't caught that yet, definitely go ahead and check that out, especially if you're looking for a tutorial about how to set up things in the bank and the gardens. But what's cool is that if you choose to go in the gardens, your yields are, part of that is available right away. And you can claim that and then stake it back into the gardens, and that creates compounding interest. Also, in the bank, since your X Jewel is turning into those other jewels from the ratio that I also talked about in the other video, right now that ratio is about 1.25 joules for one X Jewel. That ratio continues to go up over time, so that's also compounding your interest. In addition, there are a lot of upcoming things that are really bullish for this project. So on September 15th, 2021, just less than 2 weeks away, they are doing a snapshot. So everybody that has 5k X Jewel in the bank will be eligible for a raffle to earn one of the shiny Gen 0 NFTs. There will be limited to 50 of the shiny ones right there. I think some of those couldn't get generated from the mint as well, but the Gen 0 shiny ones are going to be more rare. They have higher odds for that. So people are really excited and building up their banks to hold on to that 5k X Jewel, which you think about is a pretty significant amount right now at about 80 cents. That's about $4,000 in X Jewels to qualify for that screenshot. So there also are incentives to carry even more of those jewels. So if you have 10k X Jewel, for example, instead of 1 entry into this raffle, you will actually get 3 entries to this raffle. So people are holding on to their jewels. People do not want to sell their jewels, which is extremely bullish indicator for this coin. Another thing that's really bullish about it is that there are tons of ways to spend the Jewel. So they aren't in the game right now, but once the Gen Zeros go on sale, they will cost anywhere between 750 and 3,000 Jewel to purchase. So, and that will depend on how early you are in the mint. So if you're trying to mint many of those, it will cost more to mint the later ones. But all of that jewel here, let's go ahead and look at the chart of what's going to happen for that. So this is what is going to happen to the jewel that is going to be spent on minting those Gen 0 heroes. So 1% of it is burned, it's just gone forever. That's great. 10% of it goes to the X jewel holder, so it's another great incentive to keep a lot in that bank. Again, people are holding on to their jewels. Those X jewels are becoming a very valuable resource to stock up in the bank. A lot of those are sent to quest rewards, so those will be introduced in the game, but think about that, as those are temporarily locked right away. And then the rest of this is going to be spent for marketing and development, and then obviously our amazing developers for the team deserve a little bit of cut of that as well. But I love how the team has given themselves a very fair cut, and a lot of these jewels are recirculating back into the economy and not just going into a rug pull to get everybody's money for the Gen 0 NFTs. I do not see that happening at all with this project. Another reason why people will want to hold on to or spend their jewels soon is because that DeFi Kingdoms will be releasing their land sales only a month after their Gen 0 hero sales or so. So on October 15th, they're going to do a very similar thing with the raffle. They're going to screenshot everybody with 5k X jewel in their bank and offer out a few land plots to a random mix of people who qualify for that raffle, and then the land will go on sale. If you're familiar with how land works in a lot of these NFT gaming projects, this tends to be one of the most valuable things that can really give you your return on investment very quickly and even get you significantly more than you invested in. We're comparing this to Axie Infinity Land, I believe the floor on that is somewhere between 4 and 6 Ethereum, so that's about $16,000 to $24,000. If you can hop in onto the land for this game early and hold on to it until it really becomes a valuable thing, I think that there's potential for this to really explode and you can make some life-changing money with it. The next thing I want to point out in this white paper is this staggered release schedule. So I talked about those insane APRs. Literally right now there are multiple pools where you can earn more than 22,000% APR on some of the yield farming on these liquidity pools. And here's the calendar for that. So right now we are currently in week 2. All of the rewards have a 128x multiplier, and that's why those are so ridiculous right now. Next week, which this week does end in about 4 days or so, and today again is September 6th. We go down to a 96x, so it's not quite a halfing, it's like a 3/4ing. But what's really cool about this model is that they have these most of the jewel that you earn is locked, and this is actually really healthy for the economy and for the game. Because with all this jewel locked, that means that it's not all going to get dumped at once and dumped once it all gets released. So let's look at the schedule about how this works. During week 1, when those really insane rewards were there, you could only claim 5% of the staking rewards immediately. Currently, we are in week 2, and this increases by 2% every week until it reaches 100% in about a year from now. So, for example, you can claim right now, and you will get 7% of the total amount of jewel that are in there, and the rest of that is locked for another year. So, what does all this mean for the economy? Well, it means that compared to some other DeFi dexes that are out there that are just pumping and dumping the yield coin, the farm coin, which would be comparable to Jewel, is that Jewel actually has this locking period that is pretty substantial. So these people that are getting the 20,000 plus APR right now, they won't be able to use their Jewel for a significant amount of time. That will unlock later. But what's even really cool about this game too is that the heroes that you use in the game can actually mine the unlocked tokens. So I'm assuming that they can actually unlock your tokens faster than they can earn new tokens on their own. So that does a couple different things. First, it prevents those heroes from generating new tokens. And then second, it's just using the tokens that are already existed and have already been minted. So really great for everyone. People can reap their rewards faster with that system. I'm excited to see what those ratios look like once it actually gets launched. The last reason why I think the Jewel coin is going to do really well is because the DeFi Kingdoms team is amazing. If you have been on their Discord server, you would see all the interaction that they have with their community, how much they care for this community, and how much work they're putting in right now. And it's really showing in their products and getting these quick developments. I had the pleasure of attending a couple of their AMA sessions and also have been in touch with some of the developers, and they are all just really nice, wonderful people that have this really clear mission in mind and are so driven to just crush it. I encourage you, if you have any doubts, interact with the community and in the Discord and talk to the developers, and they will ease your mind. They definitely eased mine because I was really skeptical about this project at first, but seeing all the hard work and commitment that they're putting into it is making me even more bullish on this project and wanting to get more involved. So interact with them. They love to say hi. Join us on the Discord server, and we'd love to have you as part of the community. So let me go ahead and wrap up some of my final thoughts on this video and what's going to happen to the Jewel token. If you haven't noticed, I am extremely bullish on the Jewel token and DeFi Kingdoms in general. As far as what's going to happen to price, I honestly don't really know, but here are my best guesses. So since everybody is trying to save up for the 5K X Jewel to give the screenshot, I think that it's going to steadily go up in price until we see that get taken. The Gen 0 heroes will be minted shortly after that, maybe a week or two. I think some people will try to flip their bags really fast, so be on the lookout for that moment and see if you can capture a good time to buy. And then everybody is going to be buying up to get those Gen 0 heroes. I feel like there's going to be a lot of demand as we get closer to that minting time and once we have a clearer date on that. So I would definitely look to buy some around then or before then, before the price gets too whack. And then after that, once the game gets released, honestly, who really knows? I think the development team is doing a really nice job at keeping high demand for Jewel and consistently creating that with new opportunities. I think the land is going to be fairly expensive, and a lot of people are going to be stocking up on Jewel to get that, which again is just more and more bullish for this project. It is pretty crazy on the Harmony 1 network. There are only a few different DeFi dexes out there. SushiSwap is the largest, and they're sitting at about 100 million total volume. DeFi Kingdoms in just 2 weeks has taken second place on this dex with more than 10.5 million in their total volume. This is absolutely insane growth for a project. I think it is very healthy growth because the community is all very bullish on this project along with me. So come join us, and hopefully we will see DeFi Kingdoms and the Jewel token on the moon very soon. Alright, well, if you like this content, please subscribe to my channel. There will be plenty more coming in the works, and hope to see you around the kingdom and around the Discord channel. I'll have links below in the description, so check those out. This is Crypto with Tosh, and I'll catch you on the next one.